Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are trying to crack the code on what feels like one of the great illusions of the internet age,
Yeah.
the faceless YouTube channel. The promise of passive income, anonymity.
It's the ultimate digital siren song, right?
Right.
But the brutal truth is that something like 99% of these channels they never get off the ground. They crash and burn before they make a single meaningful dollar.
Exactly. So we've been digging into the strategies from a really seasoned creator. This is someone who's been building these channels since 2017. They've scaled 2 of them past the $100,000 mark.
Wow.
So our mission today is to take their 6 years of pain and success and, figure out what the successful 1% are actually doing.
And the source makes it pretty clear from the jump what separates the winners from the quitters. You have to stop treating it like a hobby or, a casual side hustle.
Right.
Success means you have to treat this like a big business with real capital, real effort, and realistic timelines.
And that leads us straight into the first big myth we have to bust, the whole get-rich-quick fantasy. We've all seen the ads, right? Outsource everything. Make $10,000 a month in your sleep.
Oh, it's everywhere. And it's brilliant marketing, I'll give them that. But it's disastrous business planning. I mean, yes, $10,000 a month is possible. It's definitely possible.
But not overnight.
Not even close. The idea that it's effortless is just...
Yeah.
It's a poison pill. People post a few videos, they don't get views, and then they quit because their expectations were just completely divorced from reality.
Yeah, and you're still fighting the same YouTube algorithm as everyone else. I mean, the source points out that it took Mr. Beast 4 years just to get his first 1,000 subscribers.
It's 4 years for Mr. Beast.
That's a serious amount of time.
Yeah.
And this creator's own journey, it involved a ton of time and, their own money before they saw any real return.
And that's the fascinating part, really. Understanding the true financial cost just to get to the starting line, just to get monetized.
Okay, let's unpack that. If you buy into that dream of outsource everything from day one, what was this creator's actual timeline? When did they see their first dollar from AdSense?
So their story is, it's a real cautionary tale. They had to create almost 20 videos and spend $800 out of their own pocket.
$800?
Before they saw the very first dollar from AdSense trickle in. And here's the kicker. They were still losing money at that point.
Wait, how? The money's coming in, isn't it?
Yeah, but the cost of producing the next video, paying for editing, the script, the voiceover, it was higher than the tiny bit of AdSense that was coming in each month.
So you're in the red on every single upload?
For a while, yes. It took them a full 8 months of consistently uploading before the channel's revenue finally passed the creation costs. 8 months to actually be profitable.
That 8-month timeline is just brutal. I think most people assume that once you're monetized, you just flip a switch and the profit starts. But you're saying there's this long grind where the system is literally costing you money.
It is. It's a huge filter. If you're going into this, you just have to expect that you won't see real positive cash flow for at least 6 to 8 months. And that's after you hit the requirements to even qualify.
Right, the monetization wall. Remind us what those non-negotiable thresholds are.
The rules are pretty simple. You need 1,000 subscribers. And then you need either 4,000 public watch hours in the last year, or, for shorts, 10 million views in 90 days. Getting that kind of volume takes a lot of content.
Which brings us back to the money. This is a real trap, right?
Yeah.
Trying to automate from day one. If you need all that volume, how much are you actually spending up front?
This is where the 99% fail. The math is, well, it's alarming. To get the kind of high-quality video that people actually stick around to watch, which the source says is non-negotiable, you're looking at $100, maybe $150 per video.
And that covers everything.
That covers a custom script, a professional voiceover, proper editing, sound design, the works, not some cheap robotic voice.
And based on this creator's experience, how many of those $150 videos do you need to hit monetization?
On average, you're probably looking at 30 to 50 high-quality videos just to get your foot in the door.
This was.
You're looking at an upfront investment of anywhere from $3,000 on the low end to maybe $7,500 on the high end. And that's just to qualify for the chance to maybe make money months later.
Wow. So you could spend thousands just to unlock the privilege of entering an 8-month grind to profitability. It changes the entire equation.
Right.
So why doesn't that advice to just hire someone on Fiverr for $10 ever work?
Because the quality is just night and day. A $10 video is usually, a robotic voice reading a script over random stock clips. People leave instantly.
Right, the retention is terrible.
Terrible. A $150 video uses a professional human voice, custom graphics, good pacing. It keeps people watching. And that's what the algorithm rewards. The 99% try to spend too little, too soon, and they never get the watch hours they need.
Okay, so this is where the 1% strategy comes in. The creator suggests this like terrible sounding idea to avoid that $7,000 trap. Do all the work yourself at the beginning. Why is that sweat equity approach the actual key?
It's not really about saving the money, not in the long run. It's about gaining knowledge you can't buy. The source says doing the videos yourself, even if they're bad at first, is the absolute best way to start.
Why?
Because it forces you to learn the platform. You have to understand the algorithm intimately. And that knowledge, that's your single biggest competitive advantage.
It's like learning how a car engine works before you try to start a mechanic shop.
Precisely. And the core of it all is mastering YouTube analytics. When you're the one editing for hours, you become obsessed with the results. The analytics dashboard tells you everything.
So what are we looking for in there? What's YouTube screaming at us?
It really boils down to two key metrics. First is your click-through rate, or CTR. When YouTube shows your thumbnail and title to someone, do they actually click it? If your CTR is low, YouTube just stops showing it to people.
Okay, so the thumbnail and title are the front door. What's the second number?
That's audience retention, or average view duration. YouTube doesn't just care that they clicked, it cares how long they stay. If everyone leaves after 30 seconds, YouTube flags your video as low quality, even if you spend $150 on it.
That makes perfect sense. If you're making it yourself, you start to see a direct line between, say, the way you paste the script and how that retention number changes.
That's the entire game. The source claims that once you understand how to read those analytics and how to actually improve your CTR and your retention, you're already 99% ahead of everyone who just tried to outsource it blindly. You master the process first, then you automate the tasks.
Okay, so let's say you've done that. You've put in the work, you're monetized, you understand the analytics. How does outsourcing look different now? What are the key roles you need to hire for?
To keep that high-quality standard, you basically need a team of 4 specialists. You need a good scriptwriter, a professional voiceover artist, a really sharp video editor for the visuals and sound, and a graphic designer who only does thumbnails.
That still sounds like a serious operation. But the creator suggests you don't have to hire all 4 at once, right? It's a sort of hybrid approach.
Exactly. This is the smart way to scale. You use your new knowledge to save money. For example, maybe you've gotten really good at writing catchy titles and making great thumbnails, so you keep doing that yourself.
You keep the parts that directly impact the click-through rate?
Right. But video editing takes you 10 hours. So you hire an editor for, say, $50 and a voiceover artist for $20. You've just massively cut your costs, but you kept the quality high.
And what about AI tools? Where do they fit into this?
AI is great for creating a first draft for efficiency. The source mentions tools like Revid AI that can generate a whole video from one prompt. But the key is that a successful creator uses that as a starting point. They don't just post it.
So they'll go in and tweak it.
They'll rewrite the script, swap out generic stock footage for custom graphics, maybe get a human voiceover. They use AI to speed up the process, not to replace the quality control they learned during that DIY phase.
So the goal is to gradually move towards full automation, but only when the AdSense income can actually pay for it.
And that's the perfect transition, because that leads us to the third and maybe the biggest reason the 99% fail. They rely only on AdSense, and they quit before it ever pays off.
That's the critical missing piece, isn't it? People go through that 8-month grind, they spend the money, and then they quit right before the system could become profitable.
Precisely. But here's the money secret. Affiliate marketing. You can start making money from your very first video long before you have 1,000 subscribers, and this completely changes the economics of those first 8 months.
Okay, break that down for us. How does affiliate marketing work for a faceless channel?
It's pretty simple, really. You find a product or a service that fits your niche, you talk about it in your video, and you put a special link in the description. If someone clicks that link and buys something, you get a commission.
And what's the earning potential here compared to, the pennies you get from early AdSense?
It's not even in the same league. The source gives a great example, like a top tech now faceless channel. Say they review a $500 piece of tech that has a 20% affiliate commission.
Okay, so one sale, that's $100.
$100.
Yeah.
From one viewer making one purchase. To earn $100 from early AdSense, you'd need, tens of thousands of views, maybe more, it completely flips the script.
So instead of being thousands in the hole, you could potentially cover your production costs from day one with just a few sales a month.
It creates positive cash flow, it gives you the capital, and honestly, the patience to survive those first 8 months until the AdSense really kicks in.
For anyone listening who wants to try this, where do you find these affiliate deals?
You can start with big networks like ClickBank or PartnerStack. They manage tons of programs. But honestly, the easiest way is to just think about products you'd already talk about on your channel, go to their website, and scroll all the way to the bottom. Most companies have a little link that says affiliates or partners.
So, bringing it all together, you need realistic expectations about time and money. You have to master the platform yourself before you spend big, and you monetize from day one with affiliate marketing. That's the framework for the 1%.
That's the core takeaway. You have to realize that a faceless channel is just as much work as a standard one. But if you structure it like a business, the potential for automation and scale is something a personal brand can't easily match. You just bypass all the common ways people fail.
Absolutely. And the source hints at this. Once you master this repeatable process on one channel, the real opportunity opens up. They talk about building an army of faceless YouTube channels.
Yeah, and that's the end game. If you can create a profitable, semi-automated system that nails high CTR and high retention in one niche, the scalability is just enormous. And that raises a final, pretty provocative question for you to think about.
Go on.
Once you've cracked the code for one channel, what's the exact blueprint you need to create to replicate that success? To turn that one win into a repeatable factory, building out automated income streams across a dozen different niches?
Trading that initial sweat equity for a factory floor. A powerful thought. Thanks for diving into all this with us.
Always a pleasure.